Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Cruz and I am starting my first YouTube channel. I am starting it completely raw, no makeup, my hair's not even combed, and my channel is going to be about living with PCOS, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. And millions of women across the world do have PCOS, but it is a huge struggle and for some reason something not widely studied in the medical community. It's known and they have ways of treating it, but it's still wishy-washy everywhere. For those who do have it, a lot of you know the struggle. It's really hard to get a diagnosis. Half the time the doctors don't know what's wrong with you and they run a million tests before they figure out that it's PCOS. I've actually been dealing with it since I was a teenager. I knew something was wrong with me, and by my mid to late 20s I was going from doctor to doctor to doctor trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Something wasn't wrong. I have abnormal facial hair, I had classic signs of PCOS, and yet no one diagnosed me. I finally did a lot of my own research. I actually started going to medical school for medical assisting and trying to figure out on my own what was wrong with me. Finally, by my late 20s, I asked a doctor to test me for PCOS, and she actually flat out told me I didn't have it. She insisted that I didn't have it and that I didn't know what I was talking about. So as a patient, and a lot of people don't know this, but you advocate for your own care, because not all doctors are going to listen to you because they are overworked and they have a lot of patients. So I just told her, you know what, just run the test. I pay for the service, so run the test. And she reluctantly ran the test for PCOS, had me do an ultrasound, and sure enough, I had PCOS. She apologized and said, well, here, I'll put you on some medication. And to me, that's awful. I don't want to be on medication. And I'm not saying don't be on medication, because that works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And I just don't believe in taking pills all the time, especially metformin. It's very painful and causes a lot of symptoms, and I just don't want to deal with it. There are natural ways of dealing with PCOS and taking care of your health without having to be on pills every day of your life. And I want to be a role model for women out there who are struggling every day with this disease, who don't know how to manage it, and who just might need some help. And it is really hard to turn to somebody if they don't know what you're going through or they don't know anything about the disease. And a lot of times doctors really just don't know a lot about it, especially like a primary care physician. You actually have to find gynecologists who specialize in PCOS, and that is really hard to do. It is very expensive and time consuming, and most of the time they just want to put you on pills and move on. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be on pills every day. There are ways around it. But again, if pills work for you, that's great, take them. I'm by no means a doctor and don't give out medical advice, but it is nice to be able to share my journey with you. And if you have questions or concerns and you want maybe some advice or some tips, I'm definitely here for those who would like it. Especially younger girls who, like myself when I was younger, who had absolutely no one to turn to and no help and nothing. I mean, a lot of people know that there's something wrong and you can't get the help that you need. So again, my name is Catherine, and feel free to leave comments below. If you're not comfortable leaving comments, you can always inbox me. I'll do my best to respond to everyone who sends me a message. Again, I just want to be able to help those and would love for you to join me on this journey. It is a learning process every day. I'm not saying I have it down packed. That's why I wanted to start today, because I'm actually homesick today from work. I'm not actually sick, but again, leaving with PCOS, I had an issue with my menstruation, and for the first time I'm bleeding out pretty bad, which is a lot of information, but so bad to the point that I'm having to stay home today. It is, again, a struggle to deal with this. So now there's concern of fibroids, which is another side effect of having something like PCOS. And again, the doctor's not really sure what's going on. They barely know anything about the PCOS, so this is probably about the 4th doctor I'm going to see in the last month, just to try to figure out what's going on. And irregular cycles is a huge sign of PCOS. And hair loss. I know it looks like I have a lot of hair, but ladies, this is actually just a sew-in, which needs to be actually redone this week. And I didn't comb my hair. I didn't put on makeup, just because, you know, it is a struggle to deal with this. And when you see women who are just beautiful all the time and you don't actually see the real them and just raw and what it really is to live with this and struggle, it is a little disheartening, and you don't really feel comfortable just because you're like, oh, well, I don't look like that. Oh, I can't get there. And I'm here to tell you that you can, because this is me raw with nothing, no makeup, and it is possible. And actually the weave is new. It's just something I'm trying, just because, again, the hair loss is huge. It is hard, and like self-esteem really goes down when you don't have a lot of hair and you're just constantly losing hair and you're growing hair in places that you don't want it. And there are a lot of ways, and again, I don't take medication, and not everybody wants to spend the time or the money on this type of stuff. So again, I'll be showing you guys different ways and things that I've done, because I can actually make my own clip-ins. Weaves aren't for everybody, but making clip-ins is not really that expensive, and it boosts your confidence a lot. Like, girls, wearing a clip-in can make a huge difference, and it'll really boost your confidence. And I can show you guys how to make them. Let me know what videos you want to see, because I do a lot of DIY. Not on YouTube yet, but I do a lot of DIY projects. I'm actually in the middle of one right now. I decided to stop and make this video because, again, I want you guys to see the struggle and like trying to improve. And a lot of improving and living with PCOS is not being stressed out and making sure that the rest of your life is great, where you feel great, where you want to be home, where you're not stressed out. Stress is a huge problem with PCOS. And I can show you, actually, right now I'm doing the Marie Kondo method. So here's all my clothes. And I was trying to fix my pictures or whatnot, but I am doing the Marie Kondo thing right now, cleaning out my closet. It's a huge mess. So that is something I'm working on today while I'm homesick. Sick, but not really sick. So if you guys would like to see, and again, problems with makeup. I do use a lot of makeup products, even though I don't wear a whole lot of makeup all the time. I do have a lot of makeup just because I always try different things. Again, confidence boosters. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments below. Send me an inbox message if you want it to be private. I look forward to chatting with you guys more, and thanks for joining me on this journey.